Also, what the plan will do is develop goals, objectives, and actions. Again, goals are general in nature, realistic. It sets direction. It starts out broad and becomes more refined over time. I'm just trying to give you an idea where this goes. Objectives, by the way, are specific, measurable, and help make progress towards the goal. Then actions are steps that help you get to accomplish your objectives. It's more or less what we'll be setting up. Here's a hypothetical example. If a goal is for Big Green Lake to improve the water quality by reducing the nutrient load to the lake, an objective may be to set a time frame. By 2015, let's say, and this is hypothetical, nutrient sediment load to Green Lake will be reduced by 40% from what it is today. That's a goal. These goals need to be, that's an objective to meet that goal. Goals need to be very realistic. You don't want to say, we're going to all of a sudden reduce the nutrient sediment load by 90% by 2013. We're not going to get there. It's not going to happen. It's not realistic. Actions to reach that objective would be to identify, the worst sources, for example, limit erosion rates, implement best management practices like setbacks, because currently there's not a lot of setbacks on some farms and the tributaries and other things. Then at that point, it's adoption and approval. Again, there's public input throughout, public comment on the draft plan. All comments are considered, we finalize it, adopt it locally, and then there's a DNR review and approval. Implementation and monitoring. We need to prioritize actions based on importance and likelihood of meeting timelines. So, if there's 50 things we want to do, we need to group them and place value on them and try to determine which ones we want to tackle first. And, it's a well thought out process. And, we need to be able to set, again, realistic goals and timelines. Otherwise, people get discouraged and you don't get anywhere. Get funding secured. It's very important to monitor, how things are going. Follow the plan, establish protocols if you're doing water quality. Report progress. Again, stakeholders and the public have to be involved throughout the process at all times. That's really key. And then you update your management plan as needed. Now here's where, if we will complete a comprehensive lake management plan, now you're eligible for these types of grants here. Small scale grants, planning grants, large scale planning grants, and lake protection grants. And you can go for multiple ones over time. So there's a lot of money to be had. And with a lake like Big Green Lake, if we have a good plan, and based on the use of this lake, we're going to score really well. These grants are competitive in nature. I sit in a ranking meeting where you're competing against every other lake in the state for funds. That's how this goes. But because of the nature of Big Green Lake, you're going to be very competitive and have a very good shot at getting funded. It's a 67% state share, or actually, I'm sorry, it's 77% state share. It changed, I heard today. It just changed today. So, it's 77% state and 23% local. And then there's also any work that you do, whether it's go out and take a sample or take a SEPI reading of the black and white disc, your time, using your boat, your gas, that all goes towards your share, which can really drastically reduce the cost of the local element. There's also federal funding available that EPA, U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, and USGS. Oops. This is Green Lake, by the way. Now is your chance to make a difference on a Green Lake. Get involved and stay involved. I mean, it's very important that we work together. I mean, I'm sure everyone here sees something that they'd like to improve with the lake, right? So we need to work together to